Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to Coffee Talk. I have my Dunkin' coffee that I've been sipping on all day, and I am currently at my grand's house. So we are outside because the weather is super nice, and we are filming this outside on the back deck because why the heck not? So that's why the lighting is really strange, because it's like 5:30. So I have my list of notes here. So my birthday, when you're watching this, my birthday will be tomorrow. I turn 21. So today's coffee talk is going to be 21 goals that I have for my 21st year. So I have them written down, but before we get into that, we'll do the happy something. So I encourage you to pause this video, take a second, and just think about something in the past week that has made you happy or just made you think, wow, I'm really glad that made me really stop and just think for a second. So I'll give you a second. Alright, so my happy something for this week is actually probably the sweetest thing that I will ever say is my happy something, like ever. And it is, I used to be a really big reader, and I kind of stopped just because my life is so all over the place at the moment. But my boyfriend and I went into town one day and went to the bookstore, and we bought some books. And not every night, but a couple of nights a week, we usually, it's not scheduled, it's just whatever we feel that night. But there have been a couple of nights we will both sit in bed and just sit and read for a little while, and that's my happy something, is just sitting and reading with my boyfriend. I think it's the sweetest thing literally ever. We're not even just talking, I mean, once in a while we'll talk about something that we just read, which is even cuter, but I don't know, just like sitting there and like reading, I think it's like really sweet. So that is my happy something. Also, Homer is out here. You want to go inside? Just let Homer in, so it's just us now. He's looking at me through the door. Anyway, so let's just get right into today's topic. So these are my 21 goals for my 21st year. Some of them kind of correlate with others. I mean, there's 21 of them. I couldn't come up with exactly 21 completely different things. So some of them do kind of relate to others, but with that being said, I will take a sip of my coffee and then we will start with goal number 1. Alright, if you are wondering, I got a small French vanilla iced coffee with whole milk. No cream and no sugar. So, goal number 1 is I have written down successful YouTube channel. Now, I say successful, but successful could mean different things for everybody. I don't mean like 1 million subscribers and like I make all of this money and whatever. A successful channel to me is you have an audience that comes back and watches each of your videos and they interact with them. They'll leave comments down below, like the video, share the video, like that sort of thing. So to me, that's a successful YouTube channel. So when I say a successful YouTube channel, that's what I'm referring to. So I guess a bigger audience and more engagement with my channel. I guess I'm gonna skip around and just do the ones that like relate to each other. So I had that one down, and then I had written a consistent blog and consistent podcast. I love doing both of those things. I love blogging and I love like recording my podcast. I think both of them, and with YouTube, I think all 3 of those platforms are just super fun and I really enjoy doing it. But I'm not exactly the most consistent because my life isn't very consistent. So I guess trying to figure out how to be more consistent in all 3 of those platforms. I literally haven't recorded a podcast episode since the end of December because I keep meaning to and then it just never happens. I finally have published my blog, so that's a step in the right direction. And I do have 2 posts in each category, so I think I have like 8, 9 posts, including the About Me page, something like that. So just like continuing to post on a regular is what I kind of mean by that. So those are the first 3 out of my 21 goals. So 4th goal, I have written down, wow, voice crack. My 4th goal that I have written down is live for me. And what I mean by that is doing things that I know are going to be beneficial for me and make me happy. Because I feel like this is something that I've struggled with for quite a long time. I've totally touched on this before, if not here, and in my other YouTube videos and in my podcast. Like the whole like going to school, I was doing it for somebody else. Like I didn't even know if I wanted to do that. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but everybody else was like, oh, like, where are you going? Like, you have to go. So I was like, all right, like, I really have to go. Like, let me go. And then it was just an awful time, and I withdrew after 2 years. And so here we are. So what I mean by live for me is just making decisions that I know are good decisions for me and are going to be beneficial for me, and it's something that I really wanted because it's going to make me happy. So that's the 4th one. So the 5th one is to increase my self-care. I have a little like arrow going up and then self-care. Yeah, I don't think I do enough self-care. I bare minimum, if that. Honestly, I do like no self-care, and I can really you can just tell. Everybody should do self-care like every day, at least one thing that you consider to be self-care, and I definitely don't do that. So I want to up my self-care game, which definitely ties into the living for me, because that's something that's going to make me happy and just better. And I'm trying to look. I definitely have more that goes along with upping my self-care. Oh, read more. I love reading. I've been a big reader my whole life, and like I said, lately I've kind of forgotten my love for reading because my mind is just all over. My life is like kind of in shambles. So I guess that totally ties into the self-care, because I know that's something that'll make me happy and just fulfill me. So definitely wanting to read more. And yeah, we'll get into those after. Okay. So the next 2 kind of go hand in hand, and I have being a better friend and a better girlfriend. So that's not saying that I'm a terrible friend or girlfriend by any means. I don't think I am. But I feel like you could always improve and be better for people. For friends, none of my friends except like 2, they're a couple, so the 2 of them live in town. The rest of my friends are long distance, and I only have 2 long distance friends. I don't really have many friends. But my 2 long distance friends, I am horrible at keeping in contact with and like being there for them, because they are long distance, and it's just really hard because you're living in the moment, like everything that's happening here, and then like days later, like, oh my god, like what about them? So trying to be better for them, and even like my friends that are here, because of what's going on in the world right now, we don't like communicate as often and we don't hang out as often. So I just feel bad, like a bad friend for that. Not that I am a bad friend, but that could use some work. So that's what I mean by that. And what I mean by better girlfriend, I'd like to think that I'm a great girlfriend. I mean, pat myself on the back. I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but there are ways everybody can improve in their relationship. That's just what it is. So what I say by better girlfriend, I don't necessarily have something in mind. It's just on a day-to-day, like maybe I got annoyed at something and I like was not being the nicest person, like things like that. Maybe apologizing for, like immediately being like, oh my god, like that wasn't right, or stopping it and not doing that at all, those sort of things. The next one that I have written down is better time management. I have awful time management. Just gonna put that out there. I procrastinate so bad. I usually get everything done, but I procrastinate it so bad that it's like half done or not done as well as it could be because I waited so long. And then it's just not great. So definitely figuring out a better time management, because that literally sucks. Okay, so the next two also kind of go hand in hand, and I will explain how once I get through both of them. So the first one is, I just have Zumba in all caps. I've had my Zumba instructor license since the summer, and I've done nothing with it. I was saying that I was going to do like Zoom classes, but the more that I got into it and thought about it, you don't interact with people through Zoom classes. And Zumba, the whole thing is being there, like with everybody that's there, and just being present. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a feeling, right? So you want to be there with them. So I'm not going to say anything now because I still have to reach out to him, which I'm going to do after I film this, actually. There was like a fuzz. I am going to be reaching out to the owner of our local gym because they have like a studio room and they have classes there all the time. So imagine I reach out, they don't have Zumba classes or any classes along those lines at all. Imagine I reach out and teach Zumba classes there like twice, maybe 3 times a week, but we'll probably start with 2. Imagine, that'd be amazing. I love Zumba. I love Zumba so much. I've been doing Zumba since, I want to say, early high school. My cousin actually used to teach Zumba classes, and I would go all the time. And when she stopped, I had like a withdrawal. I was like, oh my god, like I miss Zumba so much. And I was like, wait, why don't I get certified and get my instructor license and teach Zumba classes myself? Because then I can give that love that I have for Zumba and watch other people's love like grow. I just love teaching in general. That's why this next one comes into play. But I feel that would be so awesome. Like, stay tuned. Anyway, so I have Zumba. Definitely want to get going and continue that. So my next goal that I have written down, it just says skating tests. I am probably a fourth of the way done my freestyle tests and almost halfway done my moves test, and I want to finish my tests or see how far I can finish at all, because I know like freestyle tests you're gonna need doubles and I don't have those. I don't know if I'll ever have those, like that sort of thing. But I want to get through my tests because I want to coach more. So I do coach basics. I mean, right now I'm not, because we don't have a session 3. There's no session going on, and I don't have any private lessons at the moment, so I'm not teaching. But I want to be able to teach not just basics, but higher level theory, or best case scenario, I finish all of my tests and I can coach all levels. That would be ideal, but I just want to be able to teach more, and I want to have a broader knowledge of skating, and I feel like finishing my tests and learning new things would totally help with that. So I just have skating tests because these are only my goals for the year. I am 21, so whatever I can accomplish in a year. So that is that one. The next 2 also go hand in hand, and it is healthy mind and healthy body. So healthy mind, I'm referring to like mental health. I have talked before about my CPT that I did, and that like completely changed me, and my mental health had like improved so much, and I worked so much, and I worked so hard, and now here I am right now. And my mental health, it's garbage. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I'm in a situation where my brain is just being beaten up every day, and that needs to change. And I am planning to change that. So that is the first one, and I feel like some of the things that I have previously said, like upping my self-care, that'll totally help my healthy mind. So that's the first. Second is healthy body. I don't think I take care of my body as well as it needs. I don't exercise as much anymore, but with Zumba and trying to finish my skating test, so skating, that'll totally help. But I also want to get back into yoga and do that more often because that's super good for your body. And then diet. I don't mean like dieting, like following a diet plan, whatever. Not for me, not gonna do it. I just mean being more conscious in what you're putting in your body. And I gonna be honest, I don't eat as much as I probably should be. I eat like one real meal a day and then kind of snack a little bit throughout. So just eating like meals, like that sort of thing, those are my goals personally. Okay, so the next one is financial stability, which there's a whole lot that has to go into this, and one of the goals later on that I'm going to talk about totally has to do with this. But totally struggling financially, gonna be totally transparent with you. There's a lot of factors that go into that too, not just like the job that I currently have, because I do get paid like a decent amount, but it's more so like the house that I live in, like how far away from my job that I live in, like that sort of thing. So we already are taking some steps into this goal currently, so that'll totally help. That one, probably one of the easier ones that I'm going to check off, because Zumba, I'm instructing, I get paid for that. Skating, or coaching skating, I'm instructing, I get paid for that, so those will help, that sort of thing. Like, so that one, I put it on there because that is a huge goal of mine, probably one of the biggest ones, but that is one that I'm already taking steps towards. So the next goal that I have is being with people, and then I have a dash and it says no phones. That just means being more present with people, not necessarily just being with people, but being more present. I feel like, especially now, like you go hang out with like some of your cousins or whatever, or friends, and everybody's just on their phones and like barely talking. I don't want that. I totally think that me personally and like my family or my friends, we've gotten way too comfortable with doing that, and it like sucks because I mean, with COVID and everything, like there was a time where we couldn't be around each other, and being here around them and just being on your phones, like kind of a waste of time. So definitely just being more present in those situations and not just being glued into my phone. So that's that one. Alright, so I have 6 more goals left. Just to recap, if you're watching halfway through the video now, like you're starting from this point forward, these are just 21 goals that I have for 21, because I turn 21 tomorrow. So the next one is, I just have written no holding back, and that's, I have a fear of failing, because I feel like I have failed at many things in my life, so I have a huge fear of wanting to do something, but I feel like I'm gonna fail at it. So this is no holding back, meaning if I want to go do that and I want to try it, it doesn't matter if I'm gonna fail at it, because at least I tried, and I had that fulfillment of not holding back and actually trying that. So that's kind of what I mean by that. And another part of that too goes on with the mental health, and that's if I'm in a toxic situation and somebody's being really toxic to me, not holding back and not necessarily reacting in a bad way, but being like, hey, this isn't okay, I'm leaving this situation, sorry, not sorry, that sort of thing. That's one that I definitely need to work on, but we'll get there. We'll get there. The next one is getting rid of FOMO and being okay with that. Oh my god, you guys, I struggle with FOMO so bad, especially now, like being away from my friends, my 2 long distance friends, who we lived together, like on campus. We did everything together. Every day we were together, we did everything. Like there wasn't a time where one of us did something without the other one. I mean, I'm sure there was, but regardless, I now have such a big, like, FOMO fear. Like, I see the things that they do, and like they're hanging out with people, and I'm like at home chilling on my phone, not doing anything, and I'm like, I wish I was there. And it's like, yes, you may wish that you're there, but like they are also like 7 hours away. Like you're not gonna be there every time. They have their own life, you have your own life. They can do cool things, you can do cool things, and that's okay. So definitely trying to get rid of that and being okay with getting rid of that. So 4 left. The next one is, I have in all caps, no more comparing. Okay, so this is one that I seriously like still struggle so much with, and it's gotta go because my mental health can't take it. I shouldn't be taking it. End of story. So no more comparing, not my life, not my looks, not anything. I don't think I need to explain any more of that. All right, 3 left. So I've already kind of touched on this one, but it's leaving toxic situations. So it could be you're around toxic people or toxic workplace, that sort of thing. I definitely have been struggling a lot with that lately. And they may not be toxic people, but right then and there may be a toxic situation and it needs to be avoided or just left. And I definitely haven't been doing that. And it's really taking a toll on my mental health, so, which I feel like in turn takes a toll on my physical health. So that's gotta go too. No more being okay with toxic situations and staying. It's gotta go. We don't have time for it. All right, last 2. I have finding joy in every day. I need coffee for this. This is one that I feel like I kind of want to start journaling, and I think this one would be really good for that. Just writing down something, either at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, just something in that day that brought me joy or that I'm grateful for. Because I feel like I go through every day, and not that I take it for granted, but I don't necessarily fully appreciate everything in the day because I'm stressed or I'm anxious or I'm just annoyed or angry or something happened that was bad and I'm annoyed, angry, stressed about it, whatever. I don't feel like I totally take in all of the good things that happen throughout the day and really like hold on to the good, and I just hold on to the bad. So I guess just taking a moment to be like, oh my gosh, like that was so awesome. Or in the moment realizing, wow, like this is great. So that. And last but not least, this one, drumroll please, is going to be the biggest thing that I've said out of all of these. So the other 20 goals, not as big as this one. They are very big, but this is like the biggest decision that I have made. And it's probably gonna be a little, I don't want to say like hypocritical because it's not. I never said I would never do this, but the past year has really brought light to my line. What? Has brought some light upon things. I don't regret any decision that I've made in the past year. I'm gonna be honest. Everything I did needed to happen for me to do this now. And that is going back to school and getting the degree that I want to go back for. I know, crazy, right? Never thought I would ever say that again, because when I withdrew, I was not having it. Like, I was in a very bad place mentally. I hated being at school. I hated being there. I loved being on campus, but I hated being at school. I liked my major, but I didn't love my major, and I didn't know what I liked or loved. I changed my major like 4 different times, and I left because I was like, I'm not gonna waste money on something that I don't even know what I want to do. I think I figured it out. So with Zumba and starting coaching, I have always wanted to teach for as long as I can remember. That's why my original plan was to go for music education and I would be a music teacher, because I've always wanted to be a teacher. But once I got to school and like those first few semesters, like I totally lost sight of all of that. I lost sight of who I was or who I wanted to be. I was a big question mark. My whole life was a big question mark. I was a question mark. Now, leaving, taking the time off, and just being with myself and really trying to figure myself out and focus on me, and getting my Zumba certification in coaching has really, really brought back that love that I have for teaching. So I have already sent in my application. I'm just finalizing all of that stuff and kind of waiting. But I think I'm going to go back and get a bachelor's in elementary education, at least to start off with. And if I wanted to go up from there, I do. But yeah, so that is my final goal for my 21st year, is I want to go back to school and I want to get a teaching degree, which a lot of people are not going to like. Some people in my family are not going to like either, but it's my life, it's my decision, and that's what I want to do, and that's what's going to make me happy. So, that's that. With that being said, those are my 21 goals for my year, or for the year that I am 21, which I turn 21 tomorrow. Crazy. But I hope you enjoyed that, and if you wanted to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, I know there was a lot in that. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, I will see you in the next episode of Coffee Talk next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Bye, guys.